up, my loves? It's your girl Diamond, and I'm back with my all-new review of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let's get into it. So Kenya is preparing for Brooklyn's third birthday. Her theme is Tea Party because she always loves to play Tea Party. Just getting through the final touches. She's talking about the budget. Now she is going through a divorce, and she mentions to her decorator that her husband is not really looking forward, or actually she's not looking forward of him helping out with the party. At this point, I don't care because she is still going through a divorce with him. She has primary custody of Brooklyn, yay, and Mark has no limitations on when to see his daughter as long as he comes to Atlanta. Point blank period. She will not be traveling to come see you. You will travel and come see her. But to me, I feel like he's not even going to do that because ever since the vacation they had back in June, he hasn't made any effort to see her. So don't waste your breath. He is paying for child support. I wonder how much. And the only obstacle is spousal support. So he don't want spousal support, then why won't you sign the papers? And what I discovered last week was this man wants part of the home that they shared together and her to pay his legal fees. Mark, what part of the home did you put in? She built that home from the ground up. Has still kept it in good shape, has renovated, add more final touches on it. That home has been in her name for the past few years. Before she met you, why would you want part of her home? You wasn't even there majority of the time. You had nothing to put in that home. And as far as paying your legal fees, can we roll the bean footage of when they were at that dinner table? And he said if him and Kenya ever split up, she could take everything that he has. He will rebuild. He can be a success again. He will get everything back. He's a hustler. Remember he said all of that? And here you are, begging for scraps, begging for all of her change. Mark can go to hell. So the budget was reaching 10,000 because she still has to go through college. Now, I'm not mad at Kenya for splurging her daughter. That's her baby. Now, I know in my pocketbook, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I mean, I always penny pinch on everything, but I do want my kids to have a great birthday. And my mother has always told me there are milestones into celebrating your kids' birthdays. There's 5, there's 10, there's 16, there's 18. Like, there are ways where you can celebrate your birthday for your child. Excuse me, instead of going all out. But of course, when it comes to rich parents, they go all out. They get top of the line stuff, expensive stuff. You would think it's a party for the adults, but no, it's a party for a 5-year-old. It's a party for an 8-year-old. All of this for an 8-year-old. So I'm not mad that she wants to do all this for Brooklyn. Hey, she could do what she wants to do. That's her baby. You know what I'm saying? But moving on. So Sheree is working out with her personal trainer, and Marlo is coming by, and her personal trainer knows Marlo. Marlo comes in only wanting to be cute, and she worked out for all of 10 seconds and said she's tired. Marlo was still in her feelings about how everybody had a lot to say about the late archive event. Hindsight, I said Sheree was still adding on the bullshit because to me, I felt like Sheree was playing on the line of she is remembering but not acting like she's remembering. And Marlo said the lay archive is not everybody, which is totally fine. Can't always appear to the other people. You do what you need to do. And she wants to be in the industry. She wants to be in the costume department. So speaking of working in the movie studios, her son Cairo works for Tyler Perry Studios in the wardrobe department. Good for Cairo. Side note, her son Cairo is extremely handsome. Okay. I wrote Marlo is looking for a village again because she wants more understanding, more knowledge, more help in how to raise children. Now, I know Marlo is only coming in as an auntie. I know the boys are in teenage years where she's still feeling lost, don't know what to do. Because how did you do it, Sheree? How did you raise a boy? How did it work? Because I feel like I'm not doing anything right. I feel like, am I spoiling them too much? If I'm giving them new things, am I not making them work for it? How did you do with your son? Did you just shower him with things? Did you make him work for it? Like, what did you do? She said, well, from the outside looking in, you're doing a great job. Everybody parents differently. But you doing what you need to do. There is no manual. There is no book. You just do it as you go. You just install the same lessons that you've been installed as you got older. And she said being a single mom with 3 kids, it was hard. but it makes up with what you put in your children. As long as Marlo puts love, affection, care, support, humbleness, work hard, then the boys will be fine. I know that she probably feels, I wouldn't say guilty, but I'll probably say she probably feels obligated into giving them a better life since they didn't come from much. So she wants to give them a whole new spin on things, a whole new way of living, you know what I'm saying? But she can also do it in a way where they can learn the value of success, learn the values of morals and everything. It's a way for her to do it, you know? So, considering that her son is in the movie department, Marlo and her nephew have been taking acting classes because Marlo wants to be an actress because Drew and Kenya are actresses as well, but she doesn't want to brag about it to everybody. Marlo, as much as you brag about your fashions and everything, I'm pretty sure you're not going to find much of a problem to brag about you being an actress, so you can miss me. And then, of course, she couldn't say IMDb correctly. She put the B before the D. IBDB. Whatever. See, I'm already fumbling because that's how she said it. The producers were cracking her up because they were correcting her that she didn't say it right. Then we're still on the assistant gate. Marla was told by Candy that her and Drew share an assistant. It's the same thing that Kenya told Sheree, that he was your assistant and you didn't pay him. But Sheree said, no, I never paid him because he didn't do anything. And of course, word on the street is that Sheree don't pay people, which is not new. We've heard about that when she couldn't pay the contractors when she was building Chateau Sheree. She couldn't pay them. So obviously, we're going back to the whole telephone. When Drew told Candy, Candy told Kenya, Kenya told Sheree, Candy told Marlo. So the main person who kept the train moving was Candy. But even though Candy told Drew to tell Sheree what she knows. Now, Sheree is in her feelings because Candy didn't like rumors spread about her, the whole sex dungeon thing. And if you don't like making rumors about you, then don't make it about me. But I feel like, Sheree, this is kind of different though. Well, was what Anthony said about you wasn't a lie. What's been said about you before, years in the seasons, that you don't pay people. I do understand that him spreading it to other people, Drew carrying that torch for other people to know about it, yeah, that could be a little bit messy. But hey, Anthony's a messy queen. So Drew never told Sheree what she heard. So when she found out from Kenya, she was like, why is she telling everybody? And that's where Sheree is mostly upset about. That Drew is telling everybody what Anthony told her. And if Sheree knows this assistant as well, he has also have spoken about Drew and her household and her husband. He has told Sheree a whole lot of Drew's business. And the streets be talking, so you might want to be careful, baby. So Sheree wants to keep putting Marlo in the space of not liking Kenya because she keeps on mentioning that Kenya would have spelled late archive correctly. Then Marla wants to be petty and say, oh, so she wants to do that differently. Well, when it came down to my event and how I sent the invites, she want to say it was tacky. But look what she did about Brooklyn's party. She sent the text. Yeah, Marlo, she sent the text. Because that's so simple to do. You sending a girl to stand in 6-inch heels to open a computer, push play, that was too much. A simple evite or a text did the trick. Then the whole white refrigerator, I'm done with the white refrigerator. I'm done with it. I'm going to move on because I'm done with that. Done. Candy. So Candy is talking to her agent about getting rave reviews for the play that she did. And she wants to do gift bags for influencers. And then she's also playing a role on a la carte. And she's playing a female character that's into females, which we know Candy is not shy of playing a lesbian character. And she wants the EGOT. She wants the Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony. She got the Grammy. She wants the Emmy, Oscar, and Tony. So Todd walks in, and her agent wanted to know how did Todd feel about her being in sexual scenes with other women. He likes it, of course. But the problem is no sex scenes with men. That's the one thing he just cannot handle. But since she's been on The Shy, I've heard there were a lot of sexual scenes in The Shy, but he seemed to be completely comfortable with it. Other than that, he supports her in her acting. But it gets hard on him because he do be at home with the kids, and the kids miss her. He misses her, but he doesn't want to be a burden by saying, "Can you come home? The kids misses you. Can you come home?" So from that point, she doesn't want to become stressed out. And now the sex has gone down. It's now rarely 2 or 3 times a week. It's not really that good. Then, of course, it's just going back and forth with how often they do come together for projects. And there are times when they don't include other people in it, especially when it comes to executive producer credit. Todd had an idea that he wanted to put out, but he wanted it to be about him, his credentials, and his idea. He wanted Candy to be the talent, star in it, but also write the theme song. She said, oh, so if I was to do the same thing, you wouldn't feel away? Todd said there's a lot of things that he does not get credit for and he doesn't care about. I do believe that Todd might feel a little bit resentment, but not towards Candy, maybe towards the narrative that's been out there about how Todd just quit his show from being on production to marry Candy Burris and just eat off of what she do. No, Todd has created his own identity by not just marrying her, but made his own. They're pretty much the power couple that you just don't want to mess with. They have done multiple things. As we can see, they're the only couple that I feel like on any franchises that does a lot of different things outside of the show. So it's just common issues that they have, not really much. Obviously, they've been together this long. I don't feel like this is much of a problem that they haven't resolved yet. So we'll see. Like, I don't think that this is something that they really need to be upset about. Not for real. Then, of course, realizing that they're having this conversation right in front of her agent. Drew went to a little children's store to pick up a few things for Brooklyn, and her annoying assistant is just irking me. He's just annoying. I don't like him at all. So she never thought that her and Kenya would be on the same place, good terms. So they're slowly putting their walls down. And she told him that she met Sheree, and she felt like Sheree might have had a little bit of an inkling, a little bit tea on them, because when she met them, she said she heard things about them, all good things, not so much. So Anthony has to set it up, right? And the way that he set it up was like, listen, let me tell you something. You know, Sheree, that's, first of all, that's one of my good girlfriends, all right? And I love her to death. You know, she by Sheree. But you know, the infamous she by Sheree, she don't like to pay. Drew, being messy, wanted to know more about it by saying, I thought she said she never paid you. I figured she never paid you enough. You never got paid at all. No, never got paid at all. And then, of course, the time where he introduced her to a vendor, and he did not have a conversation with her unless there was a payment of $25,000. Now, what I wanted to know is, what was this vendor for? What was the event, the space, and the $25,000 payment? What was that entail of? Drew, not trying to be messy, but is Anthony getting his camera time, saying that Sheree don't pay, but it's not new information. She has a hustle. She brings you in. When you do things for her, she'll say she scratched your back, but then she leaves you in the dust. Anthony felt like he ain't gonna pay me. I gotta cut ties. So Sonya calls Drew in a panic. She just went through a car accident. An 18-wheeler pulled her car away. And when they were getting ready to go leave, she had to pay for her little gift for Brooklyn, which came out to about $200. You know where my mind went when her total was $200? It went to that scene last season when her and Kenya were having a lunch and nothing got resolved, and the check came out to be $50, but they wanted to split it. Drew wanted to split a $50 bill. That's where my mind went. You couldn't pay a $50 bill, but now you're paying $200 for a gift for a 3-year-old. Okay. That's where my mind went. I could be wrong. Maybe they're going back to the times where they would announce the prices of the show, when they would, announce the money being spent. We'll see. So, after that, Drew makes it to see Sonya. Of course, Sonya was upset, and they had to go get her son. So now everybody's preparing for Brooklyn's birthday. It was a quick scene with Sheree and Tyrone about going to New York and to see Candy's play. And Tyrone said, oh yeah, you going to see Candy shit? I said, why you gotta say it like that? Just say, are you going to see your friend Candy's event? Yeah, all right. So she wanted to meet up with him and see if he'll come out to New York. He said he'll figure it out. Fine. What happened? So Sonya's at home getting ready for the party, and her son is getting ready with her. Austin was away. No, not Austin. What's his name? Ross. Ross was away when Sonya had her accident. He was in Austin, Texas on his chauffeur service business that he built and created after he retired from football to keep his mind busy, himself busy. But since COVID, they've lost drivers, they've lost business, so he has to build it from the ground up. So of course the accident was scary. I can understand how that feel. I recently was in a car accident a couple of weeks ago, and my husband wasn't here. He came home the next day, but throughout the rest of that day, I felt alone, and I can understand how that felt. So the party has arrived. The decor is amazing. It's beautiful. I love the baby pictures of Brooklyn everywhere. And Brooklyn's turning 3. Can you believe it? She's turning 3. So when Kenya arrived, it was at 12:30. And then a couple hours go by, we see other people arrive. And her decorator was the same decorator that did Cynthia's engagement party. So Sheree arrives. And Sheree is anxious to talk about Anthony because she doesn't like that Drew is spreading all this about her. Mostly she's upset about Candy spreading it, but Drew is the one that kept it going. So if Drew starts it, she'll finish it. More people came in, and we see Miss Manetta Shaw, who is a friend of the show. Manetta did not come dressed of the theme because she had somewhere to be, but she still looked beautiful. And Kenya knows her through Candy as Neo's ex and baby mama. Drew comes in with her daughter looking gorgeous, but I recognized that she was wearing the exact same dress that Kenya wore for Brooklyn's birthday party when she was all Barbie, all pinked out. And it's kind of like, huh. Now, I wanted to see if there was something different, that it wasn't the actual dress, but it was the actual dress, just different color. The belt, the whole tool, and everything. Same exact one. So Kenya was like, is she stalking my Instagram for fashion tips? Now, I'm not going to say she was, but I just feel like the dress fit the theme, but it was such a coincidental that Kenya wore that for her daughter's birthday, and you're wearing it for her daughter's birthday. I just found that interesting. So Sheree is trying to be on her best behavior, but she's watching Drew. So Drew just can't seem to help herself. I felt like when she instantly told Sonya that her and Ralph are not doing good, I said, oh my God, Drew, you just really can't help yourself, can you? It's really not good. I understand that you don't have a lot of married friends, and you want to get some advice, but you cannot keep using every event to tell other people about what you're going through with your husband, because it's not going to work out for you. So she is talking to Sonya about how her and Ralph are not doing great. He is in LA. Then it flashes back to 3 days before the birthday, that ever since the dinner that Ralph thought was a smoother way or a obvious way of, this is what I did for you, now shut the fuck up and don't ask me no more questions, okay? He's been sleeping in their son's bed because he felt like the dinner was supposed to treat her like a queen, but she spat in his face. No, Ralph, the dinner was supposed to be a way to get you off the hook, and it didn't work. She wanted a simple conversation. You couldn't handle it. You made her feel small. You made her feel stupid, and you felt like I can't do shit for you. That's what you did. And from that on, Ralph just doing what Ralph do, be an asshole. He went to a Lions game. She didn't know. And he had dinner with a friend or dinner by himself and had 2 Long Islands. And she was kind of like, really? 2 Long Islands by yourself? He said, I went out with my boy. What are you talking about? I wrote insert tears because to me, this scene was so added at a random where I felt like, are y'all kidding me? Really? We're going to do the whole, I found the receipt on your nightstand. I found the credit card receipt. I found like some Ashanti shit. Like, I found your credit card receipt on the nightstand. What is this? What is this? Like, I don't understand. Like I said it before, if this is something that's really going on with you and your relationship, this is not going to go well. And if this is fake, you got me fucked up. Because I just feel like Ralph looks for ways to make Drew pay for the mistakes that he makes. And Drew does not have that same voice with her husband as she does with the rest of the ladies. I seen that the rest of this episode. So I'm just kind of like, girl, this entire storyline about you and your husband, how he really doesn't, and where is he going to LA for? Obviously, he's still watching you because he got cameras, remember? Oh, at the end of that, I just like, girl, please. I'm gonna move on. Brooklyn makes her grand entrance, but Candy and Blaze came in first, looking cute. Happy birthday, Brooklyn. Why was Candy 3 hours late? Candy said her assistant got her time mixed up and it messed around Blaze's nap time. So we're going to move on from that. So they're going to play a game where you write down the best tea you have on someone, the fun tea. A shady tea game at a kid's birthday party. Really? Not a good choice. So we see Sonya's son Deuce. He's acting up. He don't want to play with the other kids. He don't want to sit down. He don't want to give Sonya her adult time. And she was like, listen, if you don't quit, I'm going to call daddy. You're going to be in trouble. So the first game that they play was a trivia game about Brooklyn. What was her middle name? What month did she walk? What was her first word? Marlo got it right. Her middle name is Doris, after her grandmother's name. What month did she walk? 14 months. And her first word was neighborhood. She was watching Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood. So now, Kenya had it where it was separated, where the kids was able to play and not get interrupted with the adults or anything. I saw the kids had face painting. She had crowns painted on, blue stuff. So I think Kenya put all the stops for it. So we're starting off with the fun shade at the tea party. The first thing was about Manetta, how Manetta is all natural, but I heard she had a few surgeries. Manetta stood up and says, yes, I've had a few surgeries. My titties are, okay? I wrote it all in my book. Thank you. Then the next one, Candy read that she sucked dick in the locker room. She was like, who said that? Everybody is looking shocked, wondering, who was it? Was it an athlete? Let me know. In college? Did she go to college? Who did it? Sheree said, no, wait, let me get to that point. Candy said, first of all, I have never, ever sucked dick in the locker room, of all places. Who said that? And why would you write that on the card? Kenya said she did not write it. Sheree said, why is she so offended? She sucked dick, right? If not in locker rooms, she has sucked dick everywhere else. I feel like Sheree wrote that letter. Either Sheree or Marlo, because Marlo made that comment about did she even go to college in a locker room. So Sheree or Marlo, one of them. But I feel like my money is on Sheree because Sheree wants to be in her feelings about what was said about her. So that's why I believe she was saying it. And Kenny said, listen, this ain't sitting well with me. I don't like this. It needs to be fixed. But Kenya said, listen, at the end of the day, girl, we're going to move on. We're going to move on. All right? So the next note was about Lay Archive. I couldn't order anything. The site was empty. Marlo answered that, first of all, you can't order it because that's not what the concept of Lay Archive is. If you want our business, you email us. We send you a questionnaire. And we'll contact you if we want to do business with you. I can get that. So then, while hearing that type of clarity, Kenya wanted to talk about the Range Rover that Marlo said to Sheree. About how you heard that I was using a white Range Rover, Lisa Ray's Range Rover. I don't even know Lisa Ray like that. Why would you keep saying that? Because it was in the streets. Okay, well, if it's in the streets, I heard that you had a used Rolls Royce. Oh, girl, that's a lie. I bought off the lie. No, girl, that's what the street says. You have a used Rolls Royce, all right? They go back and forth of calling out labels and shit. Candy was tired of them. Candy is tired of Kenya and Marlo going back and forth. The next note, someone doesn't pay their assistant. We know that came from Drew. So she wanted to know the Cliff Notes version. We heard that you never paid him. She said he was not her assistant. Sheree's getting frustrated. I can see the veins coming out of her neck. And Drew don't know her, but she wasn't sure if Sheree would have heard her. I don't know. If this was someone that you have been hearing that he worked with her, I get it. You just met Sheree. You don't know if she'll take it that well, but you could have just maybe passed it along in a way where Candy could have said, well, listen, if you're not really comfortable telling her what you've been told, I will ease the ice and let her know where you're coming from. But at the end of the day, Drew should have had the balls to tell Sheree what she'd been told. So, of course, it led to Sheree getting upset about how the whole train of telephone went from Candy telling everybody. So she's like, how am I in trouble? Because you told everybody. And then Candy said, I told Drew to talk to Sheree herself, but now I'm in trouble. Well, Candy, I will give it to you. I'm not mad, though. But It shocked me when Marlo said that you told her. I said, Candy, you telling her too? Oh my goodness. But I just feel like Candy did not mince words. She just kept the train going. And I'm like, damn, Candy, you telling everybody, but I'm not mad. Okay. So again, he was not her assistant, but Drew wants to defend it by saying, right, because you never paid him. So obviously, Sheree getting frustrated because she's not hearing her. She's not letting her get a word in. She's not letting her explain herself. And Drew said, he said he had emails by Sheree about how you wanted him to put together a line for you. Now I wanted her to understand. I wanted her to clarify that for me. If he's receiving emails from you to help you put a line together, that meant that you put him on a task. You hired him for a specific reason, right? So, but we couldn't get that understanding because Sheree said, can you shut the fuck up for a second so I can talk? This is when Drew got passive aggressive. This is when Drew got petty and condescending. It's like, whoa, you so mad. So they go back and forth and said, don't play about my financials or my kids. I don't know where the kids came from because nobody mentioned your kids, Sheree. We just mentioned the fact that you had an assistant and you didn't pay him. So where did the kids come from? And Sheree said, are you that desperate that you have to talk about your friends? You that desperate to have an assistant to talk about your friends? And this one, Drew said, I have 3 assistants. For what? I don't know. So then a woman, which I believe was a friend of Sheree, her name was Fatoum. She said, isn't it the same guy that told her that her husband is gay? I said, what? Huh? Who said what? The same woman, Fatoum, kept saying that Anthony was bugging Sheree to be her assistant. And I feel like I believe that because look how quick Anthony is in the scene. Look how messy he is by spreading. This man wants camera time. He wants to be on the show. But she didn't want to hire him because he's messy. He wants to come around and do all this. And then how he's spoken about Drew to Sheree about her husband being gay. And of course, this was like, whoa, who said that? Who said that? Oh no, we're not going to do that. No. Girl, we're not going to do that. No, we're not going to do that. No, you don't speak about my husband. No, we're not going to do that. You could stop talking. Stop talking. Drew was mad at that point. Completely mad and fuming. And I don't think I can blame her because this woman did mention your husband in that type of manner, right? But the main anger, the main energy should be towards Anthony because he told Sheree that. You know what I'm saying? So Kenya's Karen friend walks around angry and says, this is a kid's birthday party. These are my kids' birthday party. Okay, there's children here. I was Marlo. Marlo said, girl, them kids ain't even over here. Just stop complaining. When you get a group of girls like this, who doesn't talk mess? And I feel like that's of the norm. But you white, you don't understand. So Kenya calms her white friend down and walks her out. Marlo said, Kenya, don't invite your white friends here if they ain't gonna get it. Don't do that no more. So the conversation needed to be had. Sheree thought that Drew was a cool girl, but now you're a dissy bitch. Oh, did you call me dissy bitch? Bitch, I did. Then of course they go, bitch. I said, no. We're not doing that. This one Kenya said this game should never been played. And Kenya said, yeah, I agree. What have I done? I wanted something that was fun, nothing too serious, but this just opened up a whole lot of can of worms because it started off cool, but then I believe once after Candy's note and then Drew bringing up the assistant, that's when it all went haywire. And Kenya wanted to explain it to Drew that listen. At the end of the day, this is from your assistant. Anthony is the one that's starting this. You jumped on Fatoum when she was telling you that your assistant has been telling your business to her. To Sheree, he's been telling your business. So she said, my husband was brought up and I directed my energy towards you and I took what to heart and Anthony's on probation. Candy was like, probation? Did you not hear what she said about your husband? What did she say about my husband? I swear to God, Drew, wake up. Were you not listening? I did not hear that it was Anthony that said that. That's what they were saying this entire time. Anthony was the one who told Sheree that your husband is gay. He said that. So I feel like the remaining common denominator of where all this mess has started is from Anthony. Okay? So now Drew wants to compare accountability. Since it was wrong on my part to not come to you with what I heard, do you think you should have came up to me with what you heard? But Sheree feels like, girl, you're missing the point. It wasn't the fact that I even wanted to tell you or not. The point of the matter is your assistant is the one spreading this. The main problem is Anthony. Anthony. He's repeating things about you to me, and he's repeating about things about me to you. So there it is. Be mad at your assistant. So King said, what the hell have I done? But at the end of the day, happy birthday, Brooklyn. The party was a success. She did it all for her daughter because she does not care that Mark is out the picture, because she will go hard and grind for her daughter to make sure she'll never miss out on anything. So Marla wanted to smooth things out between Drew and Sheree because about how far her and Kenya have gone through. So can you laugh about this event like you laughed about my event? Drew being petty and said, well, at least you didn't tell her that Anthony was talking about my husband. But the twist is that Sheree didn't tell anybody what she heard. You kept telling everybody that Anthony said that Sheree never paid him. You kept saying it, and you got more information from that moment. So yeah, it's a little bit of a, not so much on both parts, but mostly on Anthony, and you engaged in it. Candy talks about the rumors about her, that she's mad about it. You know, all the rumors been said about me, and I'm still mad. But of course, they want to talk about the difference of the rumors. The difference is she didn't pay. My husband is being brought up. That's major. Sheree is really upset at Candy because at the end of the day, I had a longer friendship with you. I have expected more from you than I've expected for anybody else. I expected for you to tell me what was going on. I don't know her. I don't know Drew. So Drew and Sheree go have a screaming match. She said, I'm not a her. My name is Drew. Get my name right. I'm not Drew. I might have a name. Oh, Drew is being petty, and Sheree got that vein in her neck. Ken said, this is not the night. There will be another opportunity to talk about it. They go back and forth about Anthony. Candy reminds him about New York. Drew walks up. Like, she literally is standing there. Drew gets into Sheree's face with her hand and say, we're going to have fun. We're going to have fun. And it is a hand match between Sheree and Drew. Like it was a squealing match between Sheree and Marlo. And Sonya saw a side of Drew that she'd never seen. Candy tells her, didn't you hear her say she got a strong right hook? Drew said, oh, I have a strong everything. And then, of course, Drew looking dumb like, what'd I do? I was just talking with my hands. King said, your hands will get you a beat down. Okay? And that was the end of the episode. This is the start of Sheree and Drew. Probably will lead down to the whole doggy trees being thrown. So this was a lot. I cannot believe that Drew got to this point of being petty. I do believe that she was channeling her anger about her husband towards Sheree, because Drew couldn't take accountability to how the situation came about. So yeah, Drew was wrong on that aspect. Sheree, you are wrong as hell if it comes to the discovery that you wrote that note about Candy. But y'all, I just cannot believe all that happened at a third birthday party. A 3-year-old birthday party. Really? But y'all, that was it. That was the episode. Please stay tuned on this video, and I'm going to see you guys later. Bye.